How have things been at the club this week since the news that the manager's resigned?
Tougher than normal. It was a bit of a shock when the decision was sort of communicated to everyone, but coaches, players, staff have to get on with it, and that's what we've done. A really good positive training week, and looking forward to what will be a really tough, challenging game against Celtic on Sunday, but one we hope that we're prepared for.
Have you had to actually try and maintain morale? Have you had to say anything specifically to the players, or have they kind of coped with it?
No, to be fair, the players were shocked when they came back on Tuesday, and there was a flatness to it, but being asked to task with taking the team for this game on Sunday, it was part of my job to get them lifted. And the 2 training sessions that we've had since then have been really positive. We had a friendly game as well, so we've not had a full squad together for the full week, so that's the first day today back on the pitch for the full squad. So no, they've been great. It's a really good bunch of players in terms of their honesty, their desire and to win a game of football. They were all right behind the manager, as everyone knows, but as I say, they were disappointed, but they need to get that out of their system and be ready for the game on Sunday.
How did you and the other coaching staff take it? Is it one way you're looking at yourself, you're talking to each other and saying, what does it mean for our future? You know, it's such a shock.
No, it is a shock, and as I say, a lot's been said and written about it, and the decision that Stuart came to. We all know why he came to it, but it's about the football club, and it's about Sunday's result and game against Celtic. No one else's future. That will be taken care of.
Stephen, last few weeks, Brian Caldwell was saying yesterday, Stuart has been feeling the heat from fans, etc. How tough has it been for him when you've been working with him over the last few weeks?
Well, listen, you do see it, but he kept a lot to himself. You could see that, like sometimes maybe on the sideline, that 1 or 2 things that would happen, and it was maybe the frustrations coming through. But no, he kept it well hidden. To be fair, although we could see that he wasn't himself most of the time. He's an exciting young coach and manager, and I just hope, I was gutted personally because he brought me to the football club, but I just hope he gets an opportunity soon, if he wants one, to get back into the game, as I say. But we're just concentrating now and try to get that positivity back into the team and into our performances.
So many people just think that abuse is part and parcel of football, don't they? But does this show that it can go too far and it can really affect people?
Yeah, I think so. When you look at it, was a very small minority. We've got in my opinion, a really strong fan base. This community-led club, and I spoke earlier in the week about a game we lost last season. It was the start of a really poor run. We lose 1-0 to St Mirren, and we were excellent in the day. I can still see the players walking around the pitch getting a standing ovation. So you don't get that from a bad fan base. We've got a good fan base. It was 1 or 2 of the elements that have taken it that little bit too far. It shouldn't be accepted in any walk of society, you know. But unfortunately, Stuart's made that decision for the welfare of himself and also his family. But we need to try and get this connectivity back with not just the good fans, but everyone, to try and connect the club and make sure that we're ready going forward for this game on Sunday and for the rest of the season.
Because when it gets to a stage when family can't stay or they have to walk out of game, it really is too much, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think it's been well spoken that it is too much, because he's got a young family and 3 young boys and a young daughter, and they love coming to the game. All our families love coming to the game, and it's my 2 girls and wife come, and they kind of they're sheltered because I'm the assistant, you know. So, but they're glad that it's not me on the end of things like that. But it becomes too much. But as I say, you want your family at the game, and for that to happen is sad. I spoke to him last night. He's fine. He's doing well. Saying hopefully it's no long before he's back in.
We saw banners outside supporting him. We've seen quite a lot of social media supporting him as well. Do you hope that element can drown out the element that have been?
Yeah, I hope so. As I say, we've got the fans. We played a game last year up at Ross County, a midweek game, and we were poor, and we lost the game. And the few fans were there stayed and applauded the players. All right, the players have to go and show their appreciation for that, a long way up to Dingle for a game on a Tuesday night. So we've got fans that do that, and we just need to try and get that connectivity back with them.
Do 1 or 2 need to have a look at themselves in the mirror?
You need to ask them that. You know, I mean, I don't know what drives people to get to that level. So that's a question you need to ask them. But as I say, we're hopeful just to get everybody back on side this weekend.
Do you feel like there has to be that reconnection with everyone, almost like a reset within the club, the community and the supporters?
Yeah, again, I don't think with everyone. I think, as I say, that we've got fans. You've seen the banners. You've seen. I've seen emails that have been sent in the club in support of Stuart. We've got thousands of fans who don't do that on a Saturday, who come and watch the game. You know, and that's who we're hoping for, along with the other guys who might look and think, you know what, I did go too far there, let's get behind the team. We don't go out to lose games, we don't go out to play poorly, we don't sit as a staff after a game and say, well, that was okay. We go over it, we analyse it to strive to be better for the football club, and it helps. We've got everyone behind us, because as I say, 9 times out of 10 they usually are. You see them getting stand ovations for, it seems to be a thing in football now, players take an ovation after every win, and our fans are brilliant when they do that.
Stephen, it's quite commendable how the club have come out and been so open and honest about the reason that Stuart left, but do you think that's going to have an impact now going forward, trying to recruit another manager? Again,
I hope not, because it's a fantastic football club. I've really enjoyed my time at this club. We've not got a big staff on the coaching side, we've not got a big staff full time in the offices with the boys and girls in the office and chefs and things like that. It's really aligned, and it's a really tight club. It's a great opportunity for somebody to come in and work at a club with this. And as I say, I don't know if it puts anyone off. I can sit here and say it's been a very tough week, tough couple of weeks, but you come into a club who everybody's pushing the same way, and you have got a fan base who want you to do well, and they will support you.
How do you lift the players down going to Celtic Park? I suppose in a normal week it would be looking forward to see what you can do to affect Celtic's game, but it's not been a normal week, so how do you...
We just train. Thankfully, it's. I'm glad it's out there. The games at Fir Park. It just, these games, they tend to lift them. The players tend to lift themselves. The players know that we've underperformed as a group of players and a group of staff, and it's important that we try and get that back on track. It'll be a tough game. I mean, I watched their game the other night against Aston Villa, and I thought, apart from the first 10 minutes, I thought they were terrific. So we know the challenge, but that's a challenge you always face against Celtic. But we've managed to lift the players. They'll be working hard today, and the threats of Celtic, but also the threats that we can bring to them, and hopefully we can do that and get a really positive result and performance.
Stephen, how does this affect things like bringing players in?
Well, we're nearly getting to the end of the window. There's 1 or 2 still that have been bubbling under the surface when Stuart was here, so they're still ongoing. So we'll need to see how that pans out, whether someone thinks I'm going to take a chance and come there without a manager who's bringing them to the club. But they know that the recruitment side of things, that we're on top of 1 or 2 things that are sort of just under the surface.
Does the club have a timeline in mind when they're going to bring in or when they hope to bring in a permanent manager?
Again, that's something you would need to ask Brian Caldwell on that one. I'm sure that, I think as I read, there's over 100 applicants. I think that shows you the strength of the job. It's a really good job for someone to come in and take.
How big a challenge is Celtic?
I think everybody can see how big a challenge it is when you look at the players that they've got. When they lose a guy like Kyogo, and then the lad Aida who started really well when he came in last year. I think there's been argued that he's probably not been as effective. I watched his performance the other night, and that's the level that we need to put up with and deal with. But the players know that. They know they're facing 20 players that are coming with their starters and their subs that are all quality in every position. So it's a challenge that they'll relish, and a one that I know they're excited about, and they want to make sure they go and get a good performance.
Stephen, you talk about getting the kind of connectivity back with the fans at the club as well. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that I think Stuart himself said it was kind of as united it has ever been with the quarter final and everything that's happened. Can that happen quite quickly, do you think? How do you go about doing that as players and coaches as well?
Performances help, performances help. As I say, I refer to the St. game, they saw a level of performance, not just with the ball but without the ball, and working hard. I've also been asked, do we owe the fans a performance? The players owe themselves a performance first and foremost, but when you look at the St Johnstone game 2 weeks ago in the Cup, over 2,000 fans, of course we owe them a performance. We're just no longer at a COVID when you're watching games with no fans. They're the most important part of the club. They're the lifebeat of the club, they're the most constant thing in the club, and we want to go out and enjoy winning games for ourselves, for the club, but also for the fans. And there'll be an element of that we need to try and get that connectivity back by putting on a performance. If we lose the game, as long as fans see that the players are trying everything that they possibly can, then I'm sure that connectivity will be there, because we've got a fan base who want the players to do well every week.
Steve, do you sort of have your sort of own ideas that you're going to put across for Sunday's game, or is it going to be more of a continuation of what Stuart's going to implement?
What a great question. No, as I say, my role at this football club was to assist Stuart, and my ideas and thoughts on the game very much aligned with his. There's not going to be a ripping up of the way we play with the ball, the way we play without the ball. There'll be one or two little maybe tweaks in terms of personnel, but as I say, I know maybe fans are wanting it ripped up and to go out and play this different style of football. As I say, we don't go out to play a non-possession based game. Sometimes that's the way games work out, but that time for a change and a reset will come when a new manager walks in. The players have worked to this setup and this standard since Stuart walked in the door and since I've been involved, so we've had very little time to work on anything else, but we believe that way of playing has been successful for us, and we're hoping to get back to some level of performance that gets us 3 points.
And just from what you've seen in the club in your time here from Stuart, and I suppose the club as a whole, for the next manager coming in, what do you think they need to be a success here at Motherwell?
Use the players that you've got. As I say, I think the new manager will come in, and it'll be, unfortunately for him, possibly after the window. You know, so he's got a group of players, but what I can say, he's got a group of honest players who are as united as a dressing room as I've ever seen, and have been involved in the game for a lot of years, both as a player and as a coach. They are so united. You want to see that on the pitch. Yep, I get that. Even when players are getting abuse, you can, and I'm not just talking here, I'm talking every club, you can go into your shell a little bit. We're hoping that, as I say, that alignment's back with the fans get right behind them, and they show a group of players willing to play and get 3 points. So that's what the new manager gets. He's got quality in there, he's got a lot of quality, and it'd be up to him to try and get the best out of that quality.
Stephen, just in general, do you think abuse that managers and players get is getting worse?
Possibly. I try to think back when I played, when it was black and white days, I would get it as a player, and it's tough. Some players can react to it, some coaches can deal with it better than others, but I haven't seen a player, especially a player, start to play well when he's getting booed, you know. So players like to have that support from the fans. We all do. You can accept it from obviously opposition fans, but from your own fans it's harder to take. Whether it's getting worse, I don't know. I really don't know, Sheila. I hope not. I hope this can be a reset, and the people, without making too big a deal about it, as I say, we spoke a lot about it, that we get that reset, because it might just be frustration boiling over, but we hope they have everybody back on side this weekend.
Stephen, how's your team news? The likes of Callum Slater, is he back from?
Callum will be back in today. He's obviously had a really bad sickness bout, as did Moses, so Callum will be in today, Moses has been in for the last couple of days, and then apart from that is basically just what we had at the weekend against St Johnstone.
How's Archie there?
Archie's had surgery, so I'll just be able to look at how long the prognosis will be for that, but he's had his surgery on Tuesday, so hopefully it won't be too long.
What was the injury with Archie?
Don't know if it was the exact same, but he picked it up the exact same way, a kick on the hand. So the same thing that happened to Aston in the Kilmarnock game happened to Archie 2 days after we brought him into the club in a training session. So there's that wee bit of misfortune as well. We've had a wee bit of bad luck with injuries, and I think that I've never heard of that injury before. Your own player kicking the goalkeeper's hand, so it's happened twice in as many days.